Hi, welcome to Fang's Fable. Let's strap in and start the story. Ethan was just an ordinary guy. He lived alone in a modest apartment complex and worked a regular job. His best friend, the only one who never judged, abandoned, or failed him, was his golden retriever, Lucky. She had been with him since college. Through job stress, breakups, and late nights, she was his constant. Then came that morning. The air reeked of smoke when he returned from his jog. People were screaming, flames were licking up the sides of the building, and all Ethan could think was Lucky's inside. He ran to the entrance, but before he could charge in, Mrs. Wong, his elderly neighbor, grabbed his wrist with a desperation only the elderly and helpless can muster. "My grandson, Leo, please, save him." The fire had already spread. They both lived on different floors. There was only time to save one. The world narrowed to two choices: Lucky, his dog, his family, or Leo, a child he barely knew. He hesitated, and that hesitation, it cost him everything. The neighbors noticed it. The judgment was instant. "You're seriously thinking about saving a dog over a kid? Are you heartless?" Mrs. Wong wailed, pleading again and again. The guilt wrapped around Ethan like the smoke that choked the building. A dog or a human life. How could he not choose the child? He gave in. He ran to save Leo. By the time he carried the child out, barely able to breathe, arms blistering from burns, he expected gratitude. Instead, Mrs. Wong screamed at him. "You should have gone in faster. He's badly burned because of you." Others chimed in. A dog's life more important than a person's. What kind of sick freak would hesitate? No one asked if he was okay. No one saw his burned arms. No one cared that Lucky died in terror and fire, waiting for him. He collapsed on the pavement, physically and emotionally wrecked, and the nightmare wasn't over. Leo's parents, Thomas and Rachel, were minor influencers, just enough fame to be dangerous. They twisted the story, made Ethan out to be a lunatic who hesitated to save a child. Because of a dog, their posts went viral. The outrage poured in. People sent death threats. They leaked his address. Eggs splattered his door. He was fired. His girlfriend dumped him, saying she couldn't be associated with the dog murderer. Friends vanished. Family went silent. He tried to explain, posted receipts, even showed his burn wounds. No one cared. Rachel posted a selfie of Leo in bandages with a teary caption. He could have saved him sooner, but he hesitated. One sentence from her outweighed all of Ethan's evidence. Worse, they sued him for medical expenses. Even though he was the one who saved Leo, the case dragged on for a year. Ethan won, but he lost his peace. He was broke, depressed, and constantly harassed. His apartment became a prison. The neighbors who once smiled now avoided him. Some cursed under their breath. Mrs. Wong rallied other elderly residents to harass him. They banged on his door at night, called him a killer. The weight of it all pushed him into the abyss. Ethan stopped sleeping. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Lucky burning, crying, waiting for him. Her death scream never stopped echoing. He developed severe depression. His world shrank to a dim room, a cold floor, and the endless echo of judgment. Then one day, something inside him snapped. They didn't just ruin his life. They desecrated the only thing he loved. They twisted the truth and painted themselves victims, so he picked up a knife. He walked into Mrs. Wong's apartment during one of Rachel's live streams. It was surreal. They were smiling on camera, shilling sponsored products. Their son's disfigured face had become part of their online brand. They were making money off the tragedy. He didn't scream, he didn't flinch, he just killed them. Mrs. Wong, Thomas. One by one, he placed their heads on the dining table lined up like trophies. The livestream audience witnessed everything. The internet exploded in horror. Ethan, he lit a cigarette, stood by the window of their 50th floor condo, and watched the city blink below. Then he jumped. As he fell, the sky rushing past, he thought about Lucky, about how much he regretted not saving her. That regret, it was everything. It wasn't the hate that killed him. It was the guilt. He had made the right choice. Sacrificing a pet for a child and the world destroyed him anyway. His final thoughts weren't filled with rage. They were haunted by the image of Lucky curled up in the corner, terrified and alone. As the flames closed in, she had trusted him, and he failed her. Even in death, that failure stayed with him. He didn't die screaming. He died silently, asking if I could go back. Would I choose Lucky instead? But death wasn't the end. I woke up back on that same day, standing in front of the burning building. I could still hear Mrs. Wong screaming, could smell the smoke in my nose. And I remembered everything this time. I wasn't going to make the same mistake. Save my grandson. Please, she begged again. I looked her dead in the eyes. You want him saved? Save him yourself. Everyone around me went quiet. The moral high ground they loved to stand on suddenly didn't seem so secure when I threw it back at them. You go save him. If a child's life is that precious, why are you just standing there? Nobody moved. Hypocrites. I turned, sprinted up the stairs, through the heat and smoke. The elevator was fried, but I climbed the 9 floors without pause. I burst into my apartment, eyes scanning desperately. And there, cowering in the bedroom corner, surrounded by flames, was Lucky, my girl. I broke through the fire, shielded her with my body, grabbed her in my arms. A burning ceiling beam fell toward her, and I caught it with my bare hands. It hurt like hell, but I didn't care. I saved her. I carried her out. Everyone outside was waiting, thinking I'd brought out the boy. Where's Leo? Mrs. Wong screamed. I saved Lucky, I said simply. They lost it. You murderer, a dog. You let a child die. Lucky trembled in my arms, sensing the hate. I comforted her, whispered. It's okay, I'm here. They tried to guilt me. You could have gone back. Why didn't you save him too? Why didn't you? I snapped. You were all here before me. You stood around pointing fingers instead of doing anything. And now you want to blame me for not being your hero. Screw off. They were stunned. I was no longer the pushover they remembered. Soon after, Leo's influencer parents showed up, Thomas and Rachel. They tried the same shtick as before. Rachel pulled out her phone, started recording me. I laughed. You know that filming without consent is illegal, right? Wanna get sued? Rachel hesitated. But Thomas's eyes, there was fear. Recognition, like he remembered. Holy shit. They had been reborn too. Now, it was a chess match. They tried manipulating the situation again. Tried making me responsible for Leo's injuries, even as the fire raged, and they refused to go up themselves. Firefighters eventually saved the kid, but not before he suffered even worse burns than the first time. And then the online slander began again. Rachel posted a video, heavily edited to make me look heartless. The internet turned on me once more, but this time, I was ready. I responded with full recordings, security cam footage, and a live stream. I exposed Rachel's lies, showed how not even Leo's own parents tried to save him. The internet flipped, public sentiment turned viciously. Rachel tried crying on camera, posted her own I have depression post. I sued her for defamation and invasion of privacy. With the court evidence, she got the maximum penalty, 2 years and $15,000 in damages. Thomas and Rachel came begging for forgiveness, offered me $50,000 to write a letter of leniency. I refused. I didn't need their money. My travel vlog started during recovery, had gone viral. Me and Lucky, exploring the country. Talking about healing, about justice, we built a following of over 1 million. I started doing product placements, live streams, and brand partnerships. My account blew up. I became an influencer in my own right. Eventually, I built a whole company around it. And I never forgot. Rachel did her time. When she got out, I kept my word. I made sure her family would never hurt anyone again. I bought off a private mental hospital and bribed the right people, faked some paperwork. Thomas, Rachel, even Leo, all sent in for evaluation. Indefinitely. Some people say I went too far, but I remember the courtrooms, the nights of crying, the eggs thrown at my door, the betrayal, the silence, the loss. They killed Lucky once. This time, I saved her. And then there was Sarah. She was the girl who used to be my girlfriend. In my past life, she abandoned me when I needed her most, claimed I brought shame to her. In this life, she messaged me when I got famous, asking to get back together. No, I said. She called me heartless. Maybe I am. But you know what? I'm successful. I'm free. I have Lucky. They all made me a villain. I became a goddamn legend. Now I travel the world with my dog. She sits beside me on long drives, wags her tail when we reach another mountain view. People recognize us, wave, take selfies. They don't know the full story. And that's fine, because the one soul who matters is here with me. She never doubted me, never betrayed me, and I won't ever let her down again. This life is mine now, and it's beautiful. Reddit. Just remember, you don't owe anyone your life. Not your neighbors, not random children, not manipulative. ENFLUENCERS. Especially not those who wouldn't lift a finger to help you. Sometimes the only one worth saving is the one who loved you when no one else did.